Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us this afternoon for this post-match press conference with New Zealand captain Kane Williamson. Reminder everyone, please, particularly our audience on Zoom, to ensure that your monitors are muted and to please raise your hand to indicate if you'd like to ask a question. We'll start with our audience that's here at the stadium, and then we'll try and see if we've got time to be able to get some questions from the Zoom. I'm going to hand over to Willie, who'll be able to assist us.
Yeah, we can crack straight into it.
Hi, Kane. Congratulations. After that game against England, was there any additional pressure knowing this could have the potential to be a knockout game given how the rest of this group pans out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was sort of the situation that was presented to us, and there was some good stuff in the England game, and they're a good team, and they played better than us on the day, and so coming here, it was clearly a game that we would like to have played well in, and it was nice that we're able to put together a really good team performance and get across the line today.
Lots of scrutiny around, of course, your place after the previous game. Are you? Was this a game where you maybe approach your innings in a different way because you started out perhaps not as explosively as you ended up?
No, it was similar. I was trying to make good decisions and bat within a partnership, and it was nice that throughout the innings we were able to build a lot of those partnerships. And I thought the guys at the top of the order got us off to a really nice start on a surface that was difficult to be fluent on straight away. And likes of Finn Allen, who managed to get a big over in the power play, and even Devon to support him in that. I think sometimes you can look at, some of the innings without context, but for us, that platform was a really important part to us getting a good total today.
And you played 4 games here now, you know a fair bit about your side. How does this side compare to the one that played the final about a year ago? How confident are you about this New Zealand side?
Yeah, I suppose it's pretty similar, I guess. Maybe 1 or 2 new faces, but yeah, and it was just the other day too, wasn't it? So it wasn't all that long ago, and different conditions. The teams played some good cricket. We've been faced with a variety of surfaces, which is what you expect in World Cups. All different opposition, of course. So it's nice. We have to wait now and see how the other games progress, but. As long as the team keeps looking to improve and build on some of these performances, and hopefully we see ourselves in the next phase.
Kane, you said yesterday that you felt like you were just a boundary away from finding that rhythm. Did it come today with the first boundary, or did you feel that it was there beforehand?
I don't think there's any sort of magic bullet, but it was nice to get a couple away and build a bit of momentum with the partners at the other end. And some of the other innings where you're sort of looking to make those contributions, and then there's a lot of thought that goes into trying to position ourselves, whether it's my batting or someone else's, in terms of the partnership, and so and you're always wanting to try and get that momentum and take those options and feel quite good about it. So it was nice to make a contribution today, but more importantly, it was nice that we're able to build partnerships throughout as a team, and like I mentioned, the 2 at the top, both really valuable contributions for our side, and then throughout with Glenn coming in and doing what he's been doing all tournament, and Daryl as well. So it was a nice total to have at the halfway stage, and then I thought the bowlers, after being put under pressure early, did a really nice job to adjust and change their pace a little bit and make it nice and difficult for our opposition.
And just now that you're going to be in the semis, what do you do as far as those remaining games go? Are you going to sit down and watch them? Do you stay away from them? What do you do?
I think when you're in a tournament, you're always invested in what is happening. But it's nice. I think we have a few days now, so guys will be able to just relax tomorrow, observe with what's happening in the other matches, and see how it goes.
Kane, even during the whole wrist spin revolution, when everybody wanted wrist spinners, Mitch Santner has been like one constant and who's been doing really well. for years now in both the limited overs formats. What makes him click? What does he do that good that he's so relevant?
Yeah. Mitch has been a huge player for us, being an all-rounder as well, but certainly a top-class spinner and reads the game really well. And I think with his action, he can see the batsman make adjustments and change what he's looking to do, and has a lot of variety and very clear with how he wants to operate. So he's been a huge part of our side for a long time.
Even when you face him in the nets, do you find his pace variations that difficult to pick?
Yeah, I mean, we face him obviously quite a bit, and he's quite tall, and he can change sort of the angle of the seam and get the ball to drop or bowl those sort of side spinners and make those adjustments on the variety of surfaces that we are faced with all around the world. So, yeah, he's always a tough customer to face.
Kane, just a quick follow-up on the spinners. You said, the first 2 overs from the spinners went for about 25, 28 runs, and then they kind of slowed down the pace, especially Mitch Santner did. Was it... So are these spinners taking these decisions on the fly when they bowl the second over, or having batted on the surface, did you have some inputs to give in terms of the pace?
Yeah, we had a little chat. Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, being out there in the middle and feeling that when the spin was on the slow side and you bowled a particular line, it made it much more difficult to control. And then they made that adjustment quickly, which is great. And also being put under pressure, we know how dynamic the batting lineup of Ireland is, and they'll keep taking it on. And they bowled beautifully to make that adjustment quickly and just adjust their line and take a few Ks off their deliveries, which definitely made it a little bit more difficult.
Cool. Understand.
Okay, there's a saying that batsmen win you games, T20 games, and bowlers win you T20 tournaments. With this lot of bowlers that you have with Saudi and the rest of them, is there like genuine belief that we can just defend any score? If we put runs on the board, the bowlers can get the job done for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think teams probably, you need a bat, you need a bowl, and I mean, the guys have been operating well, adjusting to the surfaces really well, which I think is always, very important in tournament cricket, certainly world events. So they've been outstanding, and they were put under pressure again today early on and didn't get much assistance in terms of swing, but knew that throughout that middle period we could make some adjustments and sort of try and make it difficult for Ireland, and they were able to do that, and that's the experience that's in the camp. But every team you come up against has different strengths, and you play at different grounds, and you're having to really think on your feet and adjust your plans. But they've all done it for a long time, so it's nice to see them operating well together.
Any choice of opposition or choice of ground for the semis for yourselves?
No, not really. We have to just wait and see, let the cards fall, and change our focus when the time comes.
Just to sit at the back for the last one.
Kane, unlike in Test cricket, where you 2-3 days before the Test, you see the pitch, you see it every day, you see how it's behaving. In T20, especially T20 tournament play, you rock up. Sometimes you don't even see the pitch a day before the match. How do you go about assessing the conditions? Because, as you said, New Zealand have been like one of the best teams at assessing and adjusting to those conditions. Can you just outline the process that is there? When do you see what kind of discussions go on, or is it all on the fly?
Yeah, I mean, often it's very difficult to know exactly how a pitch is going to play until you start playing on it, and then trying to be really clear with your communication, whether that's as batters or a bowling unit. Make sure you're getting around each other to report back and either identify what a competitive total is and what options are, some of your better ones to take, and then same with the ball, really. So, yeah, it's one of the challenges of tournament cricket, but it certainly makes it, enjoyable to do, to try and make those adjustments, and and therefore the value of a contribution isn't always, what it might seem. So it's really trying to commit to what you try and do as a team and be nice and clear on how that looks, and then from there just really try and make those adjustments as you go.
Just say you're batting first, so when does this communication happen? At the 10th over, or before that also, do you keep sending messages back and forth?
I mean, it can depend. Obviously, the two that are out there are the two that are out there. So, and then you might get a drink that comes out, and there might, how's it going? Someone on the sideline might be curious. So, you'll report back what you feel is happening. But and then sometimes it is, your team blueprint, right? Where do we need to be? How do we get there? And doing your best to do it.
And just the last one online from Andrew Vorman.
Hi, Kane. Congrats on the win. You're going to be in the semi-finals for the 5th White Ball World Cup in a row. What have you learnt from those past ones that's going to be the key to getting over the line this time around?
I mean, depends who we play and where we play. And, at the end of the day, it's another game of cricket, another opportunity as a team to try and put together a strong performance. And that's, something that we can try to control to the best of our ability. And in the past, there's been some good tournaments and and everything in between. So for us, it's just focusing on what's happening now and I guess in the next few days, getting a slightly clearer picture of who we might play and where we might play.
And then just on today, was there any thought given to sending Glenn in ahead of you? Obviously, it sort of seemed like it could have been a like-for-like situation if Finn got out or if Devon got out, and then you and Devon did go pretty slowly for a bit there?
I think it was just trying to make adjustments to the pitch and guys coming in and playing their role. Pitches vary a lot, and so I think making those assessments when you're out there and reporting back. So when guys come in, I thought Glenn played beautifully again to change a bit of momentum. I thought the partnerships throughout were really good to get what was a very competitive total on that wicket.
Cool. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, Kane.
Thanks, Kane.